Think about thoughts turning to things, because that's what's happening. That's how everything that you see in this leading edge has come about. There's vibrations that have turned to thoughts, and thoughts that have turned to words, and words that have turned to experiences, and experiences that have turned to things. In other words, it's this vibrational evolution, just like the seed in the ground. At first is a seed, and then it's a plant, and then it's a plant bearing fruits or vegetables or something wonderful. There's a process of the evolution, and it's thoughts turning to things. We want you to think about that. But you, bless your hearts, as humans, you just want to talk about the things, the things, the things, the things, the things. You don't want to think about the thoughts turning to the things. That's not as interesting as the things that have already been turned to from the thoughts. Ooh, let's go right to the stuff. Never mind how it got here. Never mind who thought it into being. Let's just look at it and let's sort it out. Throw that in the good pile, throw that in the bad pile, throw that in the good pile, throw that in the bad pile. This pie isn't big enough for me. When you start sorting out the results of what others have thought, instead of paying attention to what you're thinking, then you've lost your connection to the process of creation, and now you're just fighting over the spoils, and you're a miserable lot when you do that, arguing with each other about who's right and who's wrong. And you know what's so interesting about that? As you decide what pile you want to be in, should I get in the Democrat pile, or should I be in the Republican pile? Should I get in the right pile or the wrong pile? What pile on what subject should I be in? We want to say to you, playfully, meaning it with everything that we are, there are really only two piles. One is the pile of those who are in this moment in alignment with the wholeness of who they are, or the pile of those in this moment who are not in alignment with who they really are. And if you are in alignment with who you really are, you feel so good. And if you're not in alignment with who you really are, you feel so awful. And then you want to blame everybody and everything about why you don't feel so good, when you've given your power away to feel good, because you've put it all upon what they're doing over there, you see. So we think it's nice that you are coming to know that you create your own reality. And we like it when you understand that you are so much more than you see here in this human body. And we like it so much when you begin to associate the way you feel with your vibrational offering in the moment. And we like it even more when you associate the way you feel in this moment by the way you feel. You understand that what it means is, it is your relationship with what you have asked for, what you have become, and nothing else. It does not have anything to do with anyone else on the planet. No one else is meant to stand in a way to make themselves your object of attention that is pleasing to you. This conditional love that you are seeking is not working for you and will never work for you, because there is no other who is supposed to stand in some place and be all that you need them to be, so that all you have to do is lazily look at them and feel good. And yet that's what you say to most people. You say, oh, when I look over there, oh, I feel so good. You need to be more like that, so that when I look at you, I will feel better. And we say that conditional love, that conditional way of living may serve you for a moment, but it puts so much unfair pressure on others who cannot hold their place for your happiness. And it leads you to the most terrible of disadvantage, because if you're counting on any one of them who is here to find their own life experience, then you are disappointed, 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 always disappointed, which is not in alignment with who you are. And then holding that vibrational frequency, you're not in the receiving mode of your source of everything that is wonderful. And then it just gets bleaker and bleaker. Really, the better it gets, the better it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets. Because if this universe is anything, it's a universe that responds to vibration and creates momentum immediately. Momentum is the basis of this law of attraction based universe. So you are always, as you are in your wake state, offering a vibration, which means you are always, while you are in your wake state, under the influence of something. In other words, whatever you're giving your attention to is the reason for the vibration you're offering. And the vibration that you're offering does have a relationship with the vibration that your inner being is offering. And so we like to call the receiving mode being under the influence of your own inner being and all that you've evolved to. But if we are really fair with our logic and with the words that Esther is finding, we must say you are always under the influence of something. And you can tell by the way you feel whether you're under the influence of the whole of who you are and all that you've become, or whether you're under the influence of some stream of consciousness that is going on in your physical world. You could be under the influence of CNN, or you could be under the influence of whatever you're giving your attention to. Esther just received a shipment from the printer of some wonderful things. She is finding ways to get them in your hands. She thought first about a bumper sticker, but she really doesn't like a bumper sticker on her bumper. And she didn't think it was a good idea for you to run around with a bumper sticker that said under the influence. So it is a dash card that when you look at it, you can't read it. It's backwards. It's weird. It looks like hieroglyphics. But when you lay it on your dash, it reflects onto the windshield and it says under the influence. And Esther has hers on her car now because she wants to think about all day, every day, what she's under the influence of. Is she under the influence of her knowing? Is she under the influence of the part of her that knows about her worthiness? Is she under the influence of the part of her that loves easily and that gives others the benefit of the doubt? Or is she under the influence of some fearful, guarded attitude where she is wanting to protect herself from something? And when she sees that, she knows immediately what the answer to that question is, because the answer is held in the way she feels. When she feels wonderful, she knows what influence she is under. She is under the influence of the whole of who she is, of her own source energy. She's under the influence of her expanded beingness. And when she is, that means she's in the receiving mode. And when she's in the receiving mode of that, that means she's tuned in, tapped in, turned on. That means when her inner being thinks a thought about where she is in any moment, and you know what? Your inner being is with you all day long, offering thoughts about where you are, about whatever you are about whoever you are with all day long. Your inner being knows you intimately and is with you always and is offering a vibrational presentation of knowledge about that. And when you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, when you're in that receiving mode, then your impulse to move, your impulse to speak, you can tell as words come out of your mouth what influence you are under. So we're not asking you to always be under the influence of your inner being, because you said, if I wanted to be with my inner being always, I wouldn't have projected my consciousness into this physical body, into this contrasting environment. You said, I'm coming to experience contrast in order to ask for more. I'm coming to find a problem to which a solution must be attracted, because in the moment that a problem is coming into focus, the solution is too. In the moment that a question is coming into focus, the answer is too. It's just the vibrational nature of this universe. And so you said, I'll go forth and I'll mix it up and I'll ask for more than I have or anyone has ever asked for before. And your inner being said, and when you ask, we'll be right here. And we'll focus upon what you've asked for, and we'll hold our consciousness upon what you've asked for. We'll keep that light on all the time. We will offer it, and law of attraction will respond to it. And if you are listening, if from time to time you can get into that receiving mode, you will feel yourself inspired. You will feel yourself called toward the cooperation with your own desire. And you said, game on. So here you are. Here you are, and sometimes you're a cooperative component and sometimes you're not, but always, always, always. Now you know about your emotional guidance system. You can tell which you are doing in any moment in time. We want to say to you, you can't get it wrong. We also want to say to you, you can't get it wrong because you never get it done. Because anytime something feels off to you, you launch more rockets of desire. We just think that it would be so wonderful if you would move in the direction of what you want more often. Well, we've actually broken it down for you that this creative process is sort of a step-by-step process. Step one is life causes you to ask. Call that step one. Can't help it. You're going to ask all day long. Step two is Source holds the vibrational frequency of what you've asked for. We just explained that to you. When you ask, you launch a rocket. Your inner being is all over that rocket, holding consistently to what you've asked for, and now you've got a set point that you can reach for. When you ask, it is given. Step 3 is you got to get in the receptive mode of what you've asked for in order for you to receive the inspiration, in order for you to witness it into physical being. That's what's so beautiful about this leading edge reality in which you live. Thoughts turn to things. This is the leading edge. You get to witness. It's not just an idea, it's an idea in a state of becoming. And when you're tuned into who you are, you get to witness it becoming. You get to feel the thrill of the idea being born within you, and you get to feel yourself on point with it or not. You get to feel whether you're honed into it, just like turning your dial to tune into any signal in your vibrational world. And you get to feel when you've clicked into place, and then you get to witness the results of being clicked into place. You get to watch the universe respond to your alignment. You get to watch your life unfold. And as you hear us, you come to understand that your life is unfolding in exact reflection to the vibrational mix that you've got going on, a mix that you have utter and complete control of. Ooh, it's so rich and delicious. So now you know everything we know. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. There's an ocean nearby. Go put your feet in it. What do you want to talk about? Nothing is off limits. Everything that happens here will be beneficial to every other in the room. Even if you're not called forward, what's on your mind we will talk about. So listen, because we're talking to you specifically.